Does nostalgia ruin games? At first glance, when you see that question, you read that question, you just jump to say no, it doesn't. But hear me out, and maybe you'll finish this video with a different thought on whether or not nostalgia is good for gaming or bad for gaming. We love our childhood. We love what we experienced as gamers in the early years of our favorite video game titles. We long for those memories of classic games, but I think our obsession with nostalgia actually hurts games in the long run. Why? Well, when a new game comes out, a sequel or successor of a favorite game of ours, nostalgia kicks in because it's a continuation of a franchise that we love, that we grew up playing. But this new game is different. It's not the same game. It's evolved from what the previous game was. It built on what made that game successful, and then changed things to become better and new. For the better or for the worse, depending on how you see it. But for the worse could be because of your nostalgic beliefs with that game. And because it's different, because it's not what we fell in love with. We dislike it. We become blind to how good the game is or can be because it's not the game we grew up loving. An example of this is Halo. We love Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2. Those are commonly the most talked about Halo games when you hear a Halo fan, say what their favorite games are. But Halo 4 and Halo 5, they get a lot of hatred. Outside of the rec system in Halo 5, the only real difference between Halo 2, and Halo 4 and Halo 5 is game speed. The first few Halo games played really, really slow. The Spartans moved at 2 miles per freaking minute. It took an hour to get from one side of Blood Gulch to the next side of Blood Gulch. Yes, that's an obvious exaggeration, but you get the point. They were very, very slow. And with that slow speed, you were also very, very stiff. So over time, Halo evolved, and by the time Halo 4 released, the game got faster. The game picked up on its speed and movement. Spartans really started to feel like super soldiers in Halo 4 and Halo 5. You can get from one side of Blood Gulch to the other side of Blood Gulch in a matter of seconds. Still exaggerating, but you get the point. Then when Halo 5 came out, the game evolved even more, even faster movement speed, even faster mechanics, even faster, Spartan move sets. You were doing these cool tricks, these cool moves, and they seem gimmicky and weird, but they aren't if you actually pay attention to the lore of Halo. So we played the last two Halo games, and then nostalgia kicked in. They aren't Halo, so we always tell everybody who says, "So you're a big Halo fan? Do you like Halo 5?" No, it's not Halo. Spartans don't move like that. This isn't the same game I grew up playing because the game was different from what we used to enjoy. We didn't like it. We didn't want to play it. But the fact of the matter is, both Halo 5 and Halo 4 are the only Halo games that accurately capture how Spartans actually move in Halo, how they speak, how they work, how they coexist with each other. If you read the books or watch the Halo Legends film, you see this. You see that they use thruster packs, that they move really fast, that they perform really insane moves, that they're always in squads. They're not, just lone wolves. And you kind of miss out on that because you only played Halo 1 and Halo 2 and Halo 3, where for the most part Chief is by himself. So you get to Halo 4 and Halo 5, and you're experiencing these, your team being important and things like that. You have Halo Reach as well when it comes to like a squad-based Halo. You just go, oh, I don't want to play this because it's different from the norm. Another example is Dragon Age. If you started with the franchise at the beginning with Origins, you loved that game from what it was. So when Dragon Age 2 came out, the hero was different, the location was different, and the combat was different. You didn't even want to give the game a chance because it wasn't the game that you fell in love with. It's not the first game. You wanted to continue what you started, and you wanted to have that exact same mechanic that you had right then and there. Then when Dragon Age 3 came out, Inquisition for that matter, it added a feature that lets you choose between the two combat styles of, fast-paced hack and slash and, the tactical style of playing, which made it easier for Origin fans and Dragon Age 2 fans to both become, entrenched in Dragon Age Inquisition without feeling like the combat was different for them and turning them off. Now, there are plenty of examples of this to be made. There's plenty of games that we can use as an example. My point is, we let our loves for our past blind us for what is in front of us. Even with a new IP, we ignore them because they aren't traditional to the kind of games we used to be playing. Think of Evolve. Evolve has some really shitty microtransactions, but the core game itself, not even a bad game at its core, but it's not traditional. It's different. It's weird. So we kind of just ignored it and say, yeah, screw it, fuck it. I don't like the idea of this game. But you kind of, if you go back and play Evolve, you sit and actually, ignore what your concept is of what a game should be. You learn that Evolve is actually a pretty good game, especially for a party game. If you got like 5 friends, this is it's a good game to just grab with your friends and just do some fun shit with. Think of Titanfall. When Titanfall first came out, it was like, oh, that's gonna be really stupid. That's gonna be very gimmicky and not gonna last very long. Titanfall's a good game. You just got to get past that thought that shooters are supposed to be these boots on the ground, no titans, no mechs, no running on the walls kind of thing. You got to kind of embrace the new mechanics of a video game. If the only RPG you ever played are hack and slash games like Elder Scrolls, then a game like The Witcher will never interest you because the idea of the combat isn't traditional to you. It's not something that you'd be used to. So back to the question that I asked before. Does nostalgia ruin games? My answer is nostalgia isn't a bad thing. We all love nostalgia. It's good to have. But it does hurt games. It can slow down the process of the game because we ignore, the game itself because it's not what the previous game was, or it's not what we're used to. It's great to see nods to the past by developers with their new games. But new games need to be just that. New. Games have to evolve, feed our nostalgia by having Easter eggs or characters from the past or just simple nods that are there to just say, hey, you played the prequel to this game or this other game. Here's a little something just to say, hey, thank you for playing our new game. But at its core, it needs to be new. It needs to evolve from what the previous games were. Halo 6 doesn't need to play the same as Halo 2. COD 2017 doesn't need to play like Modern Warfare 2. Battlefield 5 doesn't need to play like Bad Company 2. These games have to all grow and not be the same. Otherwise, they're just buying the same game over and over again. Give games that are different a chance and don't let nostalgia blind you from being able to enjoy something. That's it for this video, guys. Leave any thoughts you have in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hell, I hope you all understood what I'm trying to say in this video, the point I'm trying to get across with this video. And I'm not saying that nostalgia is just this terrible thing that shouldn't exist. What I'm saying is we need to separate nostalgia from new games. We need to enjoy them for what they are and not let nostalgia blind us from enjoying new games. Thank you all for watching. Again, enjoy your weekend.